Shannon Sharpe. Shannon. Shannon Sharpe. First, congratulations on Club Shay Shay. But you know what, Shannon? After watching you and Jim go at it, something tells me, Shannon, something tells me you're not as hip-hop as you trying to play to be. Now, you had an amazing college career. You went to Savannah State, all-black college, but you grew up on a farm and you was raised by your grandmother. I wonder if your grandmother was really allowing you to listen to hip-hop or really get into the hip-hop culture. And listen, I'm not saying that there's anything the matter with that. Kept you out of trouble. Man, I was a major fan when you was at Denver. Your brother Sterling was dope at Green Bay. I mean, y'all should have y'all flowers when it comes to football and athletics. But Shannon, I'm gonna have to pull your card on hip-hop. How much hip-hop are you, Shannon? You know, Jim said something that stuck out. He said, I bet you didn't know one Nas, you couldn't recite one Nas lyric, and you didn't. And I think like the problem right now with these podcasts is a lot of you guys really ain't with the culture like you're trying to play that you are. You can ask all the questions and dress fly and look, you know what I'm saying? But how much hip-hop were you growing up, Shannon Sharpe? I need to know. And it's no disrespect. Don't take it personal, man. But I need to know when you was growing up in you was growing up in Georgia on a farm. Something tells me, Shannon, you're not as hip-hop as you claim to be. Seeing your partner, Stephen A. Smith, same thing. You guys can talk about hip-hop subjects and make lots of money, and that's dope. But are y'all, like, pulling the wool over people's eyes? Because that's being done a lot right now. These days, with the internet, get some bread, get a producer, really make it look like you're something that you're not. So I just want to know, Shannon Sharpe, how hip-hop are you? Shannon, come on now. And I'm not going to debate and argue because hip-hop flows through my blood like football flows through yours. But how much hip-hop are you? That's all.
Benzino, he out here questioning Shannon Sharpe's background, calling his hip-hop love fake. When the whole Shannon Sharpe, Jim Jones thing happened, I was giving that same type of energy the way he was capping for Nas. I didn't feel like Shannon Sharpe on the spot could recite some Nas lyrics and things like that. I thought he was showing off, for the clout and for the views that, to bait Jim in because of his show. But Benzino, I don't know, bro. This whole situation with him using this time to speak on Shannon Sharpe, I feel like it's a little bit of a clout chase. Some of y'all might agree, might disagree. I just feel like, bro, this is just wild because, Shannon Sharpe do got a very hot platform right now. I don't know, bro. It's just weird. Like saying Shannon Sharpe, don't really belong in a culture, or he don't belong in hip hop. He doesn't understand the lifestyle, and just like going at it for views. It's right, but it's wrong, and I feel like it's more wrong than right. Like Shannon Sharpe has always been transparent. He grew up in a poverty situation, raised by his grandparents. He worked on the field. He struggled. Like, just because you didn't grow up in the Bronx or in the projects or some urban environment don't mean that you didn't really experience, the pain or the survival that hip hop represents and talks about. Like, pain and struggle and even success is defined in so many different pockets. And, you know, I don't feel like you have to be in a certain place or live in a certain place to be a part of hip hop. You know, Shannon, for over the years of his platform, he's had people coming on, legendary people giving him interviews. You know, he let people tell their stories really without interrupting them or really exploiting them. It just started to get more recent that Shannon Sharpe would do a lot of little talking back, but for the most part, he would let artists tell their stories and, you know, do their thing. You know, Club Shay Shay at first was a place I feel like where hip hop would get on it more or less than be, you know, like a mockery. Benzino, you know, he has put in the work, but his reputation is biased to some. You know, the Source magazine crumbled under his control, even though that was one of the hottest things out because of credibility issues. You know, Benzino was accused of self-promoting over journalism with the beefs with Eminem and others. You know, he put himself over top of the business and the company. Maybe that wasn't his intent. Maybe he was doing it for the business, you know, but it just feels like a little bit of clout chasing and a little bit of bitterness in his statement more or less than critique. You know, artists now choose Shannon Sharpe's platform over a lot of hip hop specific media outlets. That has to hurt a little bit. Benzino complains about culture vultures and stuff like that, but Shannon Sharpe to me has never disrespected the culture. Everybody's going to eat. You know, the white man has done their due diligence of eating, elevating it as well. You know, I think the whole gatekeeping thing is kind of outdated. Hip hop right now is really a global entity. Grown ass men arguing who's allowed, who's not allowed, you know, to celebrate. I mean, that's just, it's washed up. It's washed up. It really don't hold no validity because so many people bring so much to it. I think Shannon Sharpe has put some of the OGs back into the spotlight with his platform. He don't have a lot of the new artists and stuff out there, but, you know, keeping it respectful. You know, I'll give Shannon Sharpe a little bit of credit for that. Even though I do feel like sometimes he's a creative player, I don't feel like Benzino was 100% wrong. I just wish this message was from somebody else. You can't tell a black man who came from the dirt, you know what I'm saying, and made it to the top and be giving legends they flowers that they not hip hop enough. I think that's corny. I think that's bogus. Shannon Sharpe, whether you like it or not, he brings some type of substance and attention, you know, to the hip hop scene for the people that's into, you know, video podcasts and stuff like that. The guests that he would have on, but you know, Benzino, I just feel like just need to keep working and keep doing what you do. I don't want to see the old people that I grew up with, the Jim Jones. I see them. It seems like they using beef or friction to get relevant. That's always been a recipe in the game of hip hop, but it could be a recipe for disaster. Jim Jones is at least working, putting out some music and stuff, but I hope Benzino just not using Shannon Sharpe for clout, because again, it's going to go on deaf ears because your credibility to some when it comes to the state of hip hop has been shot. I'm Seven Mitchell. This is Lakers Land, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Benzino's comments on Shannon Sharpe. Did he have a point? Was he out of bounds? Are y'all walking 50-50 with it? Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace. What's up, guys, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button for us so we can get this content in the algorithm. And also, please be sure to subscribe to the Lakers Land YouTube channel if you're new. And you can also purchase a channel membership for exclusive Lakers Land content. Also, join our Lakers Land watch party room on Playback TV for free VIP access to all of our Laker games and our live weekly podcast. That's playback.tv/LakersLandShow. We also have merchandise available in our YouTube channel store, so grab some Lakers Likes merch today. Peace. Yeah.